In this lesson, we will look at the 4 different modes of braking that are available. Normal, with anti-skid; alternate, with anti-skid; alternate, without anti-skid; and parking. It's important to note that when anti-skid is unavailable and the brakes are applied, the brake pressure must be monitored on the brake pressure indicator to prevent wheel lock. As well as the 4 braking modes, we will also look at the auto brake facility, which can provide automatic braking during rejected takeoff and landing, and in-flight braking, which stops wheel rotation after takeoff. Before we look at the 4 braking modes in more detail, let's consider the brakes which have anti-skid. This system is fitted to the 8 main gear wheel servo valves and provides the maximum braking efficiency by sending brake release signals to keep the wheels at the limit of an impending skid. These release signals are shown on the ECAM wheel page in the form of green release bars. In approach, with landing gear extended, these release signals are sent to all wheels to prevent wheel lock and tyre damage by allowing uninhibited rotation on touchdown. After touchdown, brake release signals are generated by comparing the reference speed of the nose wheel and each main gear wheel. These release symbols appear when the release signal is sent to the wheel and disappear when the signal is not sent, or disappear completely when the aircraft speed is below 10 knots, as the anti-skid system is deactivated. As we've already seen, the brake anti-skid toggle switch has 3 selectable positions. Normal, on, for normal braking with anti-skid; alternate, on, for alternate braking with anti-skid; or alternate, off, for alternate braking without anti-skid. Select the topic icon to see the first of these in more detail. With green hydraulic pressure normal and the brake anti-skid toggle switch in the normal on position, normal braking with anti-skid is available. You can therefore apply the brakes on the ground automatically using the automatic brake system under certain conditions, or manually using the brake pedals. The automatic brake system is covered in more detail later in this lesson. Note that the normal brake pressure is not indicated, but a brake fail light is available to inform you of brake faults. These failure indications and associated ECAM messages are covered later in the warnings lesson. It was shown earlier in the previous lesson that normal braking is lost when the green pressure is lost or is unavailable, or the brake anti-skid switch is selected to alternate on or alternate off. Select the forward icon to move on to the alternate braking with anti-skid topic. Alternate braking using the yellow system automatically becomes active when the green hydraulic pressure is lost, or when the brake anti-skid toggle switch is set to alternate on. The manual selection to alternate on using the toggle switch may be made, for example, if the anti-skid facility is lost when the normal braking mode is selected. The green system, which has 8 servo valves supplying 8 wheels, the yellow system has 4 servo valves, each supplying a pair of wheels. With no green hydraulic supply, the automatic brake light comes on to indicate that the automatic brake facility is lost. In this alternate mode, you apply the brakes manually, but you still keep the anti-skid capability. Before you apply the brakes, it is recommended you select the alternate on mode. Alternate on mode allows you to check that the anti-skid release signals are being shown on the ECAM. If you have normal selected when applying the brakes, you may get false indications because normal mode uses a different set of servo valves for anti-skid than alternate on mode. Select the toggle switch to move it to the alternate on position. Now, when the brakes are applied, the correct anti-skid signals are sent from the 4 alternate servo valves and release signals are shown on the ECAM. If you remember, each servo valve supplies a pair of wheels, and that is why pairs of release signals are shown on the ECAM display. It is also possible to monitor the yellow pressure delivered to the left and right-hand brakes on the dual brakes indicator. The next topic, braking without anti-skid, covers this in more detail, as skidding may occur if you apply the brakes too heavily. Alternate braking without anti-skid is achieved in the same way as alternate braking with anti-skid, but the anti-skid function is deactivated. Select the brake anti-skid toggle switch to move it to alternate off. The anti-skid system is electrically lost if you select the alternate off position or power fails. Reactivate the anti-skid. Now select the parking brake. The anti-skid system is also deactivated if you pull the parking brake. Low pressure in the yellow system causes an automatic switching to the accumulator's supply, or when aircraft speed is below 10 knots. If the hydraulic supply is switched to the accumulators, only emergency braking is available. When emergency braking, with no anti-skid, it is important that you avoid pumping the brakes and limit the brake pressures to 1000 psi to avoid skidding. Also, monitor the accumulator pressure indicator, as the supply may empty after only 7 brake applications. If the accumulator pressure is low, and providing the yellow hydraulic system is not pressurized, you can use the yellow electric pump to recharge the supply by pressing the accumulator pressure push button. Select the push button now to. With the accumulators charged, we will move on to look at the parking brake in more detail in the next topic. You can operate the parking brake handle independently of the brake pedals by pulling and turning it to lock it in the applied position. Select the parking brake handle now. When you apply the brake, the ECAM message is displayed. Normal and alternate braking systems, including anti-skid, are automatically isolated, regardless of the toggle switch position. Automatic switching allows the servo valves to be supplied from either the yellow high-pressure system or the accumulators. You can monitor the yellow parking brake pressure, which is limited to approximately 2100 psi on the brakes indicator. Once applied, the pressure can be maintained for at least 12 hours. In an extreme emergency, and only if pedals are ineffective with the anti-skid off, the aircraft may be stopped with the parking brake. Now select the topic icon to view the in-flight braking system, which is covered next. Automatic in-flight braking occurs during the retraction cycle in normal or alternate modes to stop the landing gear wheels rotating by using brake belts for the nose wheels and hydraulic brakes for the main gear wheels. The anti-skid system is inhibited to prevent brake release on the main gear wheels during retraction. The automatic brake system is used during aborted takeoff and landing. It provides the best deceleration rates and reduces your workload. The automatic brake system is available to you if no faults are present and the following conditions are met. The brake fail light is out. The brake anti-skid switch is set to normal on. The landing gear lever is set to the neutral or down position, and the green hydraulic system is available. You arm the automatic brake system before takeoff and landing by selecting one of the maximum, medium or low deceleration rate push buttons. Select the maximum push button to activate this deceleration rate. This is the automatic brake maximum push button. Select it now. You should select the maximum deceleration rate for takeoff in case an abort is necessary. In case of rejected takeoff, the automatic brake and anti-skid systems act immediately as soon as the ground spoilers are extended and maximum pressure is delivered to the brakes. The operation of the system is confirmed when the blue on light goes out and the upper green band comes on. These indications are the same for the other modes, medium and low, but these are normally selected for landing. After landing, the brakes are not activated immediately. Progressive pressure is applied after different delay periods depending on whether medium or low has been selected. The automatic brake facility is lost when one or more arming conditions are missing, or if one brake pedal in low or medium or both pedals in maximum are depressed with sufficient force for the mode selected. The ground spoilers are retracted or the automatic brake push button is deselected. We have now completed the lesson. Select the topic icon to move on to the quiz.